Looks like we've made it to 2021. The word for the day, oddly enough, is not new or brand or excitement. It's cable management as we're trying out some new stuff. And hopefully, I don't sound like a garbled, slow guy. We have some issues with the mic as well today. But the one issue that we don't have is that today is a Friday. Happens to be the first of the year, but that doesn't stop it from being a Bubble Friday. I'm Jay Cleveland Penguin, a very special edition of Bubble Friday. Today, I won't be blowing bubbles. I'll be taking in some bubbles, although it's a little flat. Apple cider, sparkling apple cider from last night with a little Sprite added to add some bubbles. But as long as it took to set this thing up today, it was just crazy. Welcome to my live, whether you're watching me on Facebook or on YouTube. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I will respond to you in the comments later on after the show because there's way too much going on. I'm not wearing my glasses. I'm trying to talk and look into the camera. The microphone is actually right here. And right here, down here, where I'm looking and you can't see, is my monitor. So nothing is set up the way it probably should be. And the main reason why we're not doing can't see anything is because for a Christmas present for myself, I bought some new lights. And yeah, there you go. You can see. So we are making this thing happen. We are not taking a day off. This is a day off from work, a day off for a lot of folks for New Year's Day. But we're not taking a day off. We're going to take the time that it is to be special and give a quick special message on that end as well. If you're with me last week, the family was around last week, and it was a great Bubble Friday to have for Christmas and family. This week, as JJ saw me setting up for Bubble Friday, she first said, yes, I want to be in the podcast. Then she said, no, I just want to take some bubbles from my room. So she's doing that. Everyone else is eating their New Year's dinner. Reason why we're doing this so late is I spent most of the morning working on New Year's dinner, cooking things up because I like to cook for New Year's. For luck, we have black eyed peas. Hopefully I didn't screw it up for the greens for money. We did Brussels sprouts. I sauteed Brussels sprouts like I did last year. Maybe I ruined it for everybody. We have black eyed peas and Brussels sprouts. We baked a variant of my grandmother's or my mother's mac and cheese. So JJ is enjoying that. Also, I just baked some pork chops with a little bit of a little Dijon mayonnaise, little flavoring on them, and then we made some cheddar broccoli muffins, corn muffins, and some other stuff there as well. We were going to do desserts, but we have so many dessert stuff over from Christmas. We didn't do that. New Year's Eve was great for the family. If you watch me on Facebook, you saw the pictures of me and my wife watching the movie, and then my wife watching inside her eyelids, and then us again cheering out a new year. So let's go on to why Bubble Friday exists. If you're just stumbling onto this thing and you sat here for however much time I've talked, I can't see the timer either. I literally can't see anything. Bubble Friday, it's a way to celebrate the end of a week, end of a work week specifically, but end of a busy week onto time where you get a chance to relax and chill out. And it was done at a workplace where things were really stressful, and a cheap and simple and just really childish way to get it done that we enjoyed was to blow bubbles at each other. And somewhere near here I have a bottle of bubbles that I could show and hold up. And so we blow bubbles outside break area and just kind of giggle and stuff. People have asked about it, and someone asked about it. In fact, I'm going to blame Steve, my friend from Radio Now, who brought up Bubble Friday a couple times, and then this thing was born. It's not exactly how it goes, but what it is. So on Bubble Friday, I ask you to buy your cheap bubbles from Walmart, dollar store, and find some time today to blow a couple bubbles to blow out the rest of the steam, the stress and strain from the week. Also said if you're an adult, you want to take in some bubbles, just like this. Like I said, non-alcoholic. This is apple cider, bubbling apple cider, and sparkling apple cider and Sprite. I just want to tell you that you can't do the adult thing. There's my bubbles for my Bubble Friday. There you go. And of course, if bubbles is too silly, too complicated, or you're just not a drinking kind, then that is way okay. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And there you go. You have released the stress of the week and prepare yourself for a weekend. And that's what we have coming up tomorrow. Though most people around here essentially have been off since Wednesday night, but we have a weekend coming up for all of us, and some people actually work that. So this is the time to kind of chill out, relax, get into the groove for that. Now, bear with me. Like I said, I can't see very well when I do this, so I'm going to lean over, change a couple things, do all the things you're not supposed to do when you're doing these things, and there. So there we go. So the title for the Bubble Friday, the message, like I said, Bubble Friday was something we did for a workplace to relax and kind of enjoy the week and kind of get rid of it and get prepared for the weekend. But on the flip side, this thing here, what it's turned into, is a little bit of time for me to do some sort of live commentary. It's more of a challenge for me just to do it as opposed to the learning part, although I appreciate all the comments, all the complaints as well about what comes in. But the learning this week is not going to be what you would expect because it's New Year's Day, literally the first day of the year. And this is when people are talking goals, resolutions, and I do plenty of that stuff. I actually have recorded and published a lot of that stuff, and it's coming out next week because I like to do my goals and resolutions the week after the new year, after people have kind of, have done, they're done with all the excitement and all the giddiness of stuff, and now it's time to actually get to work. So that's when I work on my stuff. Excuse me. But coming up next week, I may direct you to how to see those things. Excuse me, and what's going on? Water, hydration. Woke up this morning. Didn't party, didn't drink, didn't do anything crazy last night. I woke up this morning with this really bad reflux, and it's been going on and on and on. And cooking all day hadn't apparently not helping very much. So apologies for that. But the title for the message today reads something close to, because I can't read it. 2021 is here. What are you going to do about it? Like I said, we're not going to deal with goals or resolutions or stuff like that. But we are going to talk about survival and revival. However you want to look at it. Maybe this was not such a bad year for you. Maybe your year you had some bumps and whatever, and it was kind of off because everything else was closed. But for the most point, your year wasn't so bad. You didn't lose out a lot financially. You had no one in your family get sick. You had no serious disruptions to your life other than, can't actually go places. You can go, come back, but you can't be out around people and crowds because breathing on each other is what's killing us right now. So maybe your year wasn't as bad as most. My year, when I took a look at it, was actually pretty good because compared to the year last, I got fired from a job and spent that last half of the year not knowing what the next thing was going on. In January, I got a new job. I got a great job. I got a job that paid me better than the old job. And while there are issues with every job there are, I had a job that was stable and people that were working to make sure that everyone that worked there had a job throughout this pandemic. There are a lot of people in broadcasting who lost jobs, lost positions, lost some of their play, if you will, may have had to reduce hours. In most cases, in fact, even for the part-time radio stuff I did, everybody took a pay cut for the major corporation to keep things going. So some of us did better than others. Some of us did not do as well as others. Neither way, other way, whatever way, words are not working so well today. You survived. You survived another revolution around the sun and another year, 12 months, 365 and a quarter days of just living. You survived. You lived. You woke up this morning, so congratulations. You won a pretty big prize for 2021. You have a life, an actual life. So, what you gonna do about it? What's going on? What you gonna do going forward? I'm not going to push you for what your goals are, your resolutions are, what you need to change, what you need to do more of. But I am going to ask you to do one thing. It's one and a half things, two things. I'm asking you to start something this year. 2021 is here. So no matter how bad things were last year, there was probably something that you wanted to start that didn't get started, or maybe because you just didn't get around to it, maybe because conditions weren't quite there, maybe because you weren't sure if conditions were there and conditions turned out to be better than you thought. So start it. And if you can't think of something brand new to start, restart something that you tried in the past that didn't quite work out as well as you wanted it to, with the expectations that it will work out much better this time. What are you going to start in 2021? I'm not asking for a goal, a plan, a way to make it happen, a way to ensure it comes through. What are you going to do to just start? What are you going to start? Now, because I'm a ideas guy and I have too many of them and go back and forth, I have too many things that I want to start. And the biggest thing I have to do when I do my goals next week is make sure I'm not trying to start too many of them. But Bubble Friday as a video, for example, this started this year. I had no intention of doing it, and I literally started it from my office at work because Friday was basically the only time I had a chance to turn on the camera and talk into you guys, do anything of that. So that's how it turned into Bubble Friday on the camera review. And it hasn't been the greatest in the world, but here's what happened. I have to go back and look in archives and see when I started it, but I started it. I really don't think I missed any. There were some that were really hard to make that were kind of interesting. But I don't think I missed too many Fridays without speaking for 10 minutes or so. And now I can't see my timer, but I've been speaking for 20, 30 minutes. And I got a lot of stuff off my chest. I got a chance to conversate one direction with a lot of folks, and got a chance to sort of just decompress on a lot of things. 2020 was a very heavy year for me, just with the on the political sense and just what was going on in the world, just the world itself, how while people were acting and reacting was really draining on me, and I used this platform to go through a bunch of that stuff. So I started Bubble Friday, and I will continue Bubble Friday as long as I can. But what else am I starting going forward? Well, last year around election time, I talked a bit about it. I said I was going to start I don't think I call it a nonprofit. I think I call it a movement because that's what it is. I'm not sure how big it needs to be to nonprofit status, but I am going to start this new website program movement, if you will, that's going to deal with what happens now that the elections are over. The point is to find some sort of bipartisan commission to make sure that people are registered and people feel heard and don't get disenfranchised. What I'm learning from this last election, not so much from 2016, but definitely from this one, is the system is rigged. It's hard to play the game when you know how badly it's rigged, and nobody actually wants to fix it. Both sides actually want it broken. They just want it broken so it works towards them. I'm not a revolutionary. I'm not trying to overthrow any governments or overthrow any major systems. Nobody's listening to me anyway. But I'm trying to make sure that people who feel disenfranchised get a chance to be heard. And it really works in making it really hard, like I do myself, to bring everybody who's not voting in as opposed to doing what the other side's doing, making sure people that will vote for them show up and people that won't vote for them don't show up. Voter suppression was the weirdest thing I could ever imagine ever seeing, and we all saw a lot of it in 2020 elections. So I got that thing started. I got a website up or domain up, writing on that one. That's there as well. I'm also going to start writing more stuff, and that's something that actually started in the last year because I started writing every day, publishing at jclevelandpayne.net. That sort of died down, but I'm going to go back to doing that and start a couple projects that will keep things going. Yeah, I know I'm starting too many things. I'm going to have a weekly prompt for writing as I restart the Master Your Message website and the program around that. So there's going to be a lot of things going on there. And I'm going to do some revamping of all of my podcast things, all my media stuff, to do a better, stronger push for more better media as a media company, as good media, as opposed to the life coaching stuff. Although I like the life coaching stuff, it's taking a lot of energy, a lot of issues, and not paying for itself. So the media stuff, if it's not going to pay for itself, I got to do what's easier. However, I'm going to focus a bit on putting more focus on Your Better You, the quick podcast and the quick brand. I'm going to rewrite some things that are there that can turn into larger things because they're very short and interesting. And I'm also going to publish, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, definitely by the end of January, a ebook. And I'm not even going to deal with Kindle or anything like that. It's just going to be a regular PDF on some simple health and fitness things for simple health and fitness, starting with one on staying hydrated, because that's something that in my writings and work back and forth always pops up as an easy reminder to pop up very often because people get off that stick very easily. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Every so often, stop. Make sure you're hydrated. So, what are you going to start in the next year or beyond if it's something that you know is going to take a lot of time? There are some things that really take effort. Part of my issue with doing some of my fitness stuff is I'm not in the best shape. So everything that is more or less hinging on me looking like a fitness guy, except it's not. I write fitness stuff. I can voice fitness stuff. I can show fitness stuff, even if I'm not out there, throwing around, big boulders and flipping cars over like in strongman competition. That doesn't mean I'm not in decent shape. Doesn't mean I'm not healthy. Doesn't mean I don't know anything. I have the knowledge. I've gained the knowledge. I actually have a fitness certification and a nutritional certification. So I actually have knowledge. I just don't look the part right now, and that's where the issue is. That shouldn't be what stopped me on that end. It probably shouldn't be stopping you, but let's say you need to drum up a lot of cash. That's going to take some time to talk to people and get things going on. So maybe 2021 is not the time to start the activity, but the time to start talking to people about what's going on. Start gathering the cash, gathering the resources, getting people jazzed up and emotionally invested on your big thing coming up in 2022. And its big launch maybe in 2023 because it takes a while. Avengers Endgame took a long time to put out there. And of course, because of COVID-19 and changes in the way the entertainment industry worked, there's a lot of movies that were done a couple of years ago that were slated for release this summer. Didn't happen. And we'll get to them eventually. But what are you going to start? What are you going to start or restart? What are you going to make happen this year that wasn't happening last year? Or what are you going to make happen this year that wasn't happening last year, but you are dedicated to make it actually be accomplishable, make it actually turn out? You can talk to me in the comments. You can email me at jclevelandpayne@gmail.com. You can talk to me in the comments. Already said that. And just say the kind of things that you're ready to work on. I'll be going deeper into detail on things I'm working on in this platform and other platforms. I'm going to use the microphone I have to discuss it. And the only way I know that you'll hate it is you tell me you hate it. So if you hate it, let me know. We'll back off a little bit. If you like it, let me know. I'll let you in on some of those activities and let you know how you can be a part of them as well, which is basically saying the same thing. So since I literally can't see how much time I've been on, I literally can't see very much. The lights are bright. The camera's over there. The mic is there. The ding you heard is another computer over here that was monitoring the test. This has been a crazy. This has been a crazy day. It was a crazy year, and we're gonna do the best that we can to make this work out. Now, for those of you who don't know, and you can probably tell from the way this is looking, I'm looking at the monitor now. I can't really see myself, but I can see the problem. My issue with doing video, literally all my life, has been the way I look on camera, because I don't think I look that great, and the way I look at the camera, because I can't do it. In the 8th grade, this is how long I've been suffering from this. In the 8th grade, in 1988, I did a project for a class where we did this video that was aliens invading the Earth, and because it was '88 and headline news was a big thing, and because it was in Germany and that's all we got for news. One student played Bobby Batista from headline news. It was the coolest thing to do that. Other students played different parts of it. I played a scientist and being interviewed by the news crew about what was going on, how things are happening. It was a horrible just setup. I just had a white t-shirt as my costume, and it was really weird because it was really cold that day, so I had this big bubble coat with this white t-shirt on over it, and it just looked horrible. The whole thing looked horrible. It looked like an 8th grade production on VHS from back in 1988, which is what it's supposed to be. But I could not look at the camera. could not look forward. I could not do anything without looking around and moving my head and doing that. I just couldn't do that. And literally since 1988, I've been afraid of cameras. It is 2021. Let's do the math. 8 plus 2 is 90. 2000, 2010, 2021. Almost 40 years, and I can do math backwards. So for 38 years, I've been afraid of doing these things. And you probably can tell just from what's here. But I've also, in the last couple of years, been very honest about not liking this, doing less grumbling as I get through to it, but I'm also doing what I can to learn it. So while I don't have a large crew of folks to help me out, like we said, JJ just wanted a pack of bubbles to go back into a room. I started this. I'm growing this. I bought lights over Christmas, and I've had these cameras, web cameras for other projects that I've been using. I bought a new interface, or bought a new portable recorder that turned out to be a pretty good interface, and so I'm using that for more of these activities for mobile shoots. Don't have a lot of space to deal with, so like I said, cable management is the key, because if I shift too much, I'll bump the tripod that's next to my leg or rub on a cord, and you'll hear everything kind of rumbled. But I started. And not YouTube famous. I'm not making billions of dollars off these videos. I'm not making any money off these videos. I'm probably looking pretty foolish, to be honest. And a lot of you guys are probably, encouraging for the fact that you need something entertaining. And me being bad at this may be entertaining. But if that is what it is, that is. Bubble videos in 2020. I'll keep doing them and hopefully get better. Uh, the setup and teardown, number one, has improved my setup and teardown for other activities I've been doing. The practice of talking to the camera has improved what I'm doing. The spontaneity that I have to do in talking to and playing to the camera has done a lot going on. The need for lights, that was something, there I go kicking it, something that I fought for forever, just trying to make things work out. The various prices of the equipment and gear, and then going back to something a bit more simpler and just updating the things that make it work out. Everything you start, everything you put into, everything you do may not affect the world, may not be life-changing to everyone outside of yourself, but it is life-changing to you by the sheer fact you gave it a shot. And hopefully giving it a shot means you see how well it works and you want to give it more shots to make it better. Even if you gave it a shot and saw it didn't work out for you that time, it's okay to back away and give it up, but why not try it one more time and see what happens? So, what are you going to start or restart in 2021? What is it you're going to make happen that didn't happen last year, or it didn't happen well enough that you gave up on it? Let me know in the comments. Email me so we can chat about it, and we will do that. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me for two big wins for you already. You got your three big wins today. You survived 2020. We don't know how much you survived the past year, so congratulations on that one. You also woke up this morning, had the ability to open your eyes, listen, wiggle your fingers and toes, and then you got to some piece of machinery, a camera, a computer, a tablet, something, hit a button, and watch me talk for, how long am I talking? I'm going to do this, because eyeballs. 23 minutes. You listen to this video of me doing this. You have life, you have abilities, you have faculties, and you have resources. Go out there, maybe not today. I'm not going to say do it today, because today is going to be kind of a chill day. But go out there tomorrow and the day after and a few days after that. Do something awesome for other folks. Because the more awesome things you can do for other folks, and not really seek out awesome credit, the more awesome you will feel inside. And don't forget, 365 days for the next part of the year. Christmas comes on December 25th. Don't forget that one as well. and you're on the stick to start or restart something. And you know what? You're not even beholden to me. You don't want to tell me what it is, just go do it. You don't want to tell anybody about it, just go do it. You'll feel better about doing it, whether it's worth sharing or not. This is obviously something that needs to be public, so there you go. The other things needed some accountability, so there you go. If you need some accountability, reach out. We can work on that. If not, go start something. I will say, because you probably got a few extra hours that you're not killing until football starts at 3 o'clock Central, I believe. We'll see. It's Central and Eastern time. I'll back up. So we got college football playoffs today and football regular season over the weekend. Down digressing. Hydrate. Good luck to you for 2021. If the last year wasn't so great, this year can be so much better. You just have to work on it. And yes, we count the decades on the one. So there you go. We are in the next decade. So there you go. We finally reached it because it's zero. Never mind. Thank you so much. I'm going to weirdly blindly try to find the spot on this thing here so I can end the live and end the pain and suffering for all of us. Leave any comments wherever you're watching, and I'll check them out in the next couple minutes. Thank you for joining me on a late edition, a brunch edition, lunch edition of Double Friday. My New Year's dinner is over there to the side. My black eyed peas, my Brussels sprouts, my mac and cheese. I'm going to wrap things up, do some recording, and if you want to be a part of some of these things here, if you want to start podcasting or videocasting or writing more stuff, reach out. I know a couple things. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Out.